Hello YouTube family, this is Mika Coleman with Tax Deed and Overage Education, and today I am going to talk about, I guess, the secret sauce of like investing in real estate, particularly tax deed and overages. And I like that, the secret sauce, because it's not probably what you think it's going to be about, but if you wait till the end, I do have some very, very important stuff I would love to share with you. But if I could be completely transparent, I like, let's just say since the beginning of this year, I have been really challenged by my products and my program about like how I can get more successes, or like how can I have more testimonials. I realize the age group that I do teach, a lot of people do not like to do videos, so it's really hard for me to get video testimonials. But most importantly, I really would love like a 30 or 40% success rate, right? And I was just kind of like, when I started this business, I really was just sharing the information. If anybody knows me, everybody that knows me personally always knows that, like, if I have information, I'm going to share it. I don't like to withhold information. But one of the things that when I initially started, I just really was just sharing information because I was so excited about it. You know, after being in real estate for 20 years, I was just like, oh my God, people should know this. Because if I would have known about this, I'd be so far ahead. So in the beginning, I was just initially wanting to share information. Started off by giving classes for free, and people would not show up. So that's why I end up having to charge people, hopefully that they would show up. Sometimes people still don't show up even though they pay for it. But if I could be completely transparent, I've been really bummed about like, okay, why aren't people having the same successes as me? Like, you know, why can they not have like the life of freedom like I have? And it's interesting because I always was like, I want to be like wealthy and I want to be financially free. And I realized that I've literally, depending upon the meaning of it, right? When I wrote it down, I've been that my entire life. I've never not had to like, you know, save to go on a vacation. I mean, I've gone out of the country like 4 times a year. Like, I've been on so many vacations. And when I look back, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I wake up when I want to. I work when I want to. And I know a lot of people desire that, right? And so this video is about the secret sauce. And it's probably not going to be what you think it is, because after being in business for 20 years and actually like teaching this niche for the last, I guess, 5 years, I've really got to understand like people and like the way they work. And I don't really want to say I understand people because I really don't. But what I wanted to talk about was like the secret sauce. You know, I was like talking to my sister, and I was just like, yeah, I feel like people aren't getting it. People love my course. They rave about it. They say how structured it is and how well I explain things. I was like, but why is no one getting checks or getting, like right here, these are like signed assignments, affidavits that I have. I have like 4 of them. It's about 250,000. I'm not getting that 250,000, all of it, but I'm getting a percentage of that. And so when I start processing this, of course it makes me excited, but I really feel like I'm here on this earth to inspire and educate other people. And most importantly, the reason why I even started my whole mastermind was because I wanted to share this information, but I also, it's only me that works this. And even though I've tried virtual assistants, they don't work. I was like, I could actually share this with other people, and we could kind of like, I mean, they could work the leads that I don't work, right? Anyway, make a long story short, I was talking to my sister about this, and she was like, you know, Mika, entrepreneurship is a different type of muscle. And so that's what I really want to talk about today. Is the secret sauce is literally your mindset. And I have learned through this process that everyone doesn't have the mindset of entrepreneurship. And let me just like dig deep into that, because what I'm realizing, I just like went to this event today and I was listening to all these different entrepreneurs about their business and like what they want to, you know, what they're doing or what they're aspiring to do. And a lot of people were saying they wanted to get in entrepreneurship because they were like burnt out with their job, or they just, they were tired of the corporate politics, and, they wanted to start doing something different. But what I've realized is that a lot of people don't even know how, where, or what to do when it comes to entrepreneurship. But one of the things, especially in this niche, and I've realized when my sister said everybody doesn't have the muscle, and that muscle is the secret sauce. It's the muscle of working until you get something. I tell people this all the time. I guess because I started really young with not getting used to getting paid every 2 weeks, that I have that muscle that I have to work. And I know that if I keep planting the seeds, that eventually the harvest will come. But in this journey, I realized that real estate is my passion. Like, I remember even in my early 20s, I would be up all night just running numbers. And when I got my first deal, I literally split it with my younger sister. She had just graduated from college. I told her to quit her job. I'd give her $40,000 because she helped me with this deal. I made $80,000. I split it with her because she's like the really like research. I'm the one that's like, let's fall off the cliff. And then she's like, wait a minute, where's the parachute? Where's the instructions? I'm like, let's just fly off the cliff and see what happens. Anyway, she's always been a good backbone for me to kind of like help me put like strategies and stuff in place. Anyway, I say this all to say that the secret sauce in this business is not giving up. It's having the muscle of knowing you desire something so strongly that you're not going to stop until you get it. And what I realize is a lot of people just don't have that muscle. They just don't. And I just want to encourage, empower somebody that is maybe fed up at their job, or, just tired of living this life. They're not even living, they're just existing, right? To take a leap of faith, find your passion, focus on that, and move forward. Whether that's in tax deeds or overages, it has to be something that you're passionate about. I remember like when I first started this business, I was literally crying, on the floor, because God was like, post this on Facebook and see how many people would be interested in doing a course, or learn more about it. I didn't even say a course. I didn't even have a course at that time. I was just like, how many people want to know more about tax deeds? And I'll never forget that post. 200 people posted, and I started bawling because I felt like Moses. I was like, God, who am I? I haven't really been doing tax deeds, but God was like, you've been in real estate for 20 years. And I'm saying this all to say that I've been an entrepreneur making my money work for me, and believing in myself, and knowing that if I keep putting in the work, planting the seeds, that something will come from it. But most importantly, it was coming from my heart and my passion. And lately, I've been trying to transition and see how can I, get across from people. But I realized that everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. You may say you want your own business, or you may say, you want to get financially free, but what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? How are you doing that? Do you have a plan? And I realized even in my business, you guys, one thing I've learned about entrepreneurship, it's you wear 10 different hats, right? And you have to be focused on what it is that you want and what you are doing. I am very clear that I am educating, inspiring, and empowering others to invest in real estate, period. That is what I'm doing. But most importantly, I'm doing it myself. I don't just talk the talk. I walk and I talk. I have these masterminds. Why? Because it holds me accountable. It makes me learn other counties. I could go about my business golly knees. Sometimes I'd be like, God, really? I was I don't need to do this. It's stressful, but I know that I have a calling on my life. I know that at the end of the day, I was here to educate and inspire people. And so I want to close this video with the secret sauce about and educate you on the art of entrepreneurship. And there is no specific path. There isn't any like set steps, right? But what I can say from my experience is you have to be passionate. You have to have a desire of something that even when you want to give up, you don't. Because trust me, you guys, there has been several times that I wanted to give up. Like even at the beginning of this year, I was ready to be like, F this business. Like I don't need to like talk. I don't need to educate. I don't need to do this. I could just process these claims by myself and just keep it going. But deep down, like I guess my higher self or my soul was like, no, you're meant to do this. And so here I am talking on this video, hoping that I'm encouraging and empowering someone that you can do this too. And it may not be tax deeds, it may not be overages, but if you've ever had a desire to invest in real estate or do anything in real estate, I promise you this is like the start. But I'm going to go back to what my sister said. Everybody doesn't have the muscle. So the secret sauce is that entrepreneurial muscle, which means that you got to work hard, sometimes hustle, to get it until you get it. And guess what? It doesn't come overnight. It does not come overnight. I was working with one of my VIP, and I honestly don't think they was doing it full time. They were doing it part time, but they finally got their first contract. It took them 6 months. But one thing I could say from a lot of the other students that were my VIPs, they kept on going. Even when some lists didn't work, they kept on going. And so I just want to just encourage and empower whoever I'm talking to or whoever's listening to this video is that you have to develop the muscle of persistence, and you just have to keep going. Like there are going to be some days where you don't feel like doing it. You're going to have some highs, you're going to have some lows, but you have to continue to keep going. And you'll know if it's your passion or not, right? Because if you're not making any money and you're like, forget it, and then you don't even think about it or touch it, it's probably not your passion. It's just not. Like, as many times as I've wanted to quit, I have not given up. But most importantly, I don't give up on myself. I'm going to close with this, and I think this is also an intricate part of having that entrepreneurial mindset is you do have to believe in yourself. And this is the story that I'm going to close with. I'll never forget, I was graduating from college. My mom paid for my entire college, but you know how college students are. I had like a boatload of credit card debt, and my mom was like, I'm not going to pay that. And so I had just paid off all my credit card debt, you guys. You know, I'm in my 20s, and my mom is the one that got me into this real estate stuff, but I had just paid off all my credit card debt, and she had paid for me to go to this real estate conference, seminar. You know how they have in the seminars, and then you get the entry, and then they upsell you. So anyway, make a long story short, she pays for the entry. I think it was like $1,000, but the program was $30,000. I took every credit card that I had just paid off, and I put all my education on 5 different cards to pay for the education. And from that moment, I realized when I look back that I bet on myself. I believed that if those people said, if I did X, Y, and Z, that I would get my return on my investment. But I had to believe that I could do that. And I look back at that, and when I got my first deal, I could have made $150,000, but I made $80,000 in my 20s. I never looked back. And there's going to be a moment in your life where you're going to have to stretch yourself. You're going to have to risk it all. Because let me tell you, that was hard paying off those credit cards. But I risked it all to believe in me, to move forward in a dream that I could believe I could have. And so I just want to empower you and encourage you that whatever your dream is, keep that as your forefront and build that entrepreneurial muscle. Because I tell you, that is the secret sauce, is believing in yourself and knowing and believing that you can do it. So with that being said, I hope this video helps, and that's the secret sauce to entrepreneurship. Have a great day.